Welcome back to News Geelong. Are you visiting Victoria's beautiful coast this summer? Then help reduce litter on beaches, foreshores and roadsides by doing the right thing. Use the right bin, as Ian Nichols reports.
This is the Victorian coastline. We just happen to be at Point Danger near Torquay. And the campaign Too Lovely to Litter is in full swing. It will continue until April of this year. You'd be amazed at how much rubbish and litter is left on our beaches. I've just found this one, so I'm going to do the right thing and put it in the right bin. Excuse me while I do all this. That's the theme of this big campaign. And we're talking with the ambassador for this particular project, Cherie Maris.
It's a unique campaign, so it spans the entire Victorian coastline. It's up to 2,000 kilometres, so all the councils are on board. First of its kind, so we're looking at reducing visual litter along our beaches, coastlines and the roadsides.
So will this involve volunteers on a large scale, or we got to totally organised with local environmental groups?
Local environment groups, local councils will also be jumping on board with the Clean Up Australia Day as well. So it's a comprehensive campaign, which is fabulous, because I think most people assume that litter that's found along the coastline and roadsides are, being washed up from a big ship. But 80% of pollution along these areas are actually from the land. So I think that's a big misconception.
Our staff are out twice a week on a routine patrol around all of the reserves that we manage on the coast between Torquay and Lorne. And in the summer period, the staff are out every day picking up litter. And of course, we've got a lot of volunteers out there too who just take it upon themselves, either unofficially or officially, to pick up litter along beaches and along pathways. So if you total all that together, it's a huge effort every day of the year really to pick up litter. Now, we've got a lot of cigarette butts around here. It's pretty obvious that people haven't got it into their heads yet that cigarette butts are litter. And you see people all the time smoking and then throwing the butt on the ground. Otherwise, I think, people maybe are just lazy and can't be bothered walking the 50 metres to the nearest bin. But you'd think, after decades in Australia of working on the Keep Australia Beautiful type campaigns and Too Lovely to Litter, that people would have got it by now.
Standing on a coastline that is too lovely to litter, this is Ian Nichols for News Geelong.
Thank you, Ian. As we turn to the pulsating world of Geelong sport and our own flying hawk, Nathan Curry. Good evening, Nathan.
Thanks very much, Rollo. Well, the Geelong Cats got through to the second round of the NAB Cup. They now take on St Kilda this weekend. So News Geelong caught up with their assistant coach, Blake Carasella, to find out everything that's happening down at the Cattery. Now, Blake, we know Jimmy Bartell's had his tonsils out this week, but what other senior Cats will miss this week's clash?
Obviously, Podsy hurt his hand, so he's going to be out for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not too sure, but he should be right for round one. The other guys who played, no major injuries at all. So Scarlett probably still won't play. Chapman, Joel Corey, Travis Varco. I may have missed 1 or 2, but we got pretty much through the game unscathed.
Could you just clarify Paul Chapman and Joel Corey's injuries?
Chappie's got a bit of a calf, and Joel Corey, I'm not exactly sure what's wrong with Joel, but he's not playing this week.
Could you give us an update on Cameron Ling?
Yeah, Lingy, he had a bit of a setback last week, so he's probably 2 or 3 weeks away from playing, so he might get back for the last game of NAB Cup if we're still alive, or I think the Twos played the week before the round one as well, so hopefully back for round one. You've
got St Kilda again in round one, so will you keep any tricks up your sleeve?
Yeah, it's a good question. Possibly, I'm sure they will as well, although we have seen St Kilda play a lot last year, and whether they're going to change or not, they've probably changed a little bit since last year, but I guess we'll wait and see.
Did you notice any changes to St Kilda's game last week compared to last season?
Well, they spoke about being a bit more attacking last year. It's hard to say off one game, and they've got a few young players playing as well, with having played them this week and also the next, or watching them play the next 2 or 3 weeks as well. We might see more, but very hard to see off one game. But there's a few more games before round one.
A lot's been said about Brendan Favola recently. Do you think it's possible for him to make a comeback at his age?
Well, if you look at James Podsiadly last year, he was 28-29, had a fantastic year. He was maybe top 10 in the Brownlow. So at age 28-29, yes. Outside of that, I'm not privy to what's happened up in Brisbane and what other side issues he's got, and that's a different case.
Now, given it is the NAB Cup, is it your objective to win this week?
Yes and no. I think at the same time we'd like to keep winning, but we're going to be playing kids as well. Our kids played very well on the weekend. Look at Guthrie and Hall and Smith and those types. It'd be great to get those players more games and experience before the home and away season. At the same time, we still want to win. So it's a bit of both, but hopefully we can win and play the young kids as well.
When are we likely to see Nathan Vardy play?
Yeah, hopefully he had a bit of a setback, a bit of a sore leg as well, so he might play this week. He probably won't, but we'll have to wait and see.
How far away is Matty Scarlett from playing?
Yeah, Scarlett hurt his ankle in the intra-club game. I'm not exactly sure how far away he is. He'll definitely play round one. He's walking around and starting to train now, so whether he plays next week or the week after, we'll wait and see.
Do you think Chris Scott is happy with how the team played on the weekend, and did you notice any changes from last year's side?
Yeah, the coaches were very happy after the game to see the attack on the footy and to implement the things we've been talking about in training all pre-season. They did a fantastic job, the players, individually, but also collectively as well. So I'm really happy with the way the boys went, and hopefully we can build on that come NAB 2, NAB 3, NAB 4. Was it intentional to kick more than handball? Being well spoken about that last year, I guess, against Collingwood and St Kilda, that our handball game got us in trouble a fraction. If you look at the stats too, we did kick the ball more on the weekend, whether it was a matter of actually trying to kick the ball more or the game just eventuated that way. We'll wait and see how we go against the Saints this week. Will Cameron Mooney have to play this week because James Podsiadly is out? Yeah, good question. Moons was down to play last week on the Thursday, but for some reason didn't play as well with Podsy. But yeah, I guess he's every chance to play. We need games into all the players. We don't want Moons to play one game in the pre-season, so he's got 3 more games to try and get 2 games at least under his belt. Billy Smets was the only one of last year's 4 draftees not to play on the weekend. Where is he at? Yeah, Billy's he's still behind the 8 ball a little bit. Hopefully he gets back and plays a little bit before the season starts, and hopefully it's probably next week. Thanks for your time there, Blake, and good luck for the weekend. That's it for me as well this week. I'll be back on Wednesday night, but until then, as always, it's back to you, Rollo.
Thank you, Nathan. Have a great weekend. And now the latest weather information for the coming week in and around Geelong and District. It's a very warm welcome to sparkling Lani Salathiel. Good evening, Lani.
Thank you, Graham. Some warmer conditions on the way tomorrow. Let's take a look at the forecast. We can expect a cloudy day with some isolated showers developing from the morning with a top of 28. For Sunday will be a cloudy day with some isolated showers contracting to the surf coast around midday with a top of 23. To start off next week on Monday, it will be a partly cloudy day with a top of 23. For Tuesday, we'll see a cloudy day with some isolated showers around Geelong and District and a top of 19. For Wednesday, a partly cloudy day again with some isolated showers and a maximum of 24. For Thursday, we're looking at a cloudy day, some isolated showers again and a top of just 20. And today we saw a partly cloudy day with a top of 23. And that's the weather outlook for the coming week. Have a good weekend, and back to you, Graham.
Thank you, Lani. See you next Wednesday evening. And thank you for being with us on News Geelong. Remember, to Maggie and Henry from Townsville up there in Queensland, take your time and smell the flowers. From all the team at News Geelong, have a pleasant evening, a safe and enjoyable weekend, and a very good night.